streams is
That's what you
started.
call streaming.
Hello,
Stream
hello
is
everybody.
started.
Welcome to this 30-second session of In the Demon's Grass with our wonderful group here that we actually got together 2 weeks in a row. It's a miracle.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, woo! So when last we left off, the group had awakened for the day after a very interesting fairy-filled, sprite-filled dream. Explosions and fires were involved. There were some cages. They decided to go about and start checking on missing children here to see if there were any unreported missing children, and came across two rather innocent children out in the market, just walking by and randomly bumping into each other. And Kohl decided to kidnap one, and Mistral decided to stalk the other, and everyone's innocent.
Yes.
So, some talking was done. It was mentioned to both of them by the different people that two kids have gone missing that are normally part of the crew or whatever you would like to call them. The group of people that are run this, they were convinced to take the party to what they consider their leader, who they mainly just call the boss, and that's where we kind of ended up there.
And you called me out on being invisible.
Yeah.
Well,
Help
and
out.
before that, there was another guy eating that tried to claim to be the boss and was not the
Yep,
boss.
that's
Mhm.
true.
And we clocked him, though
Yeah.
Kohl
Yeah.
was
Called
totally
him
just...
out on not being the boss.
Yep.
Except Kohl was totally convinced.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He looked bossly to me.
You're
And
bossy
so
to me.
he
Just
had
young.
invited the group to sit down, told Erilyn, to the person in the room, to go ahead and pull up a seat because he had heard her footsteps, and that's where we kind of lit off there. So that's where we will pick up. He was just about to speak, and so he says, "I hear you have some questions for me."
We do.
He looks at you very expectantly and kind of tilts his head.
My computer freeze again. Mother ape ass.
Okay.
What?
Okay!
Okay.
Language!
It's frozen!
We can still hear you.
Well,
Mhm.
ain't that just slow?
Can you hear us?
I hear you guys.
Okay.
Discord isn't frozen.
No, Discord's frozen. It's the only thing that's frozen, actually.
Oops.
Man, Discord don't like you
Anyways,
today.
But yeah, basically, none of us have dropped any disguises or anything. Yes, we're still all.
yeah, everybody's still dressed. Nobody
still
said
look
that they
I'm
were
just...
wiping off or cleaning up.
Okay. Probably
I'm just not
wise because
invisible
I just
anymore.
have to dirty y'all up again if y'all did.
Really quick.
I was hoping
That
for
is
some
such
information.
an ironic sentence.
Looking into the disappearance of some kids, and I heard through the grapevine that some of your workers had gone missing as well.
We've had two rats to scurry away, but one of them kind of moved uptown to a better life, from what I understand.
Charlie and Doe?
Yes. How did you know?
I have my ways.
It was windy, wasn't it?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, what were the ages of these two rats?
Charlie's 14. He's moved uptown. He got adopted, from what I understand.
When's the last time you saw him?
About 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe.
Did he get adopted into a working class family?
I believe so.
Because
As
we're
long as he
investing.
doesn't bring any pain down, I'm perfectly glad for the kids here to be able to get a family. I mean, he kind of waves at himself and says, "I do fine. I just give them a home and a way to make a living."
Did you know they've had a disappearance too?
Oh, the boy that went missing in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
I did. He went missing around the same time that Dowell did.
Is there any chance we could get the address? Which one did he say? Charlie?
Charlie, yeah.
Could we get the address of Charlie just to check in, make sure he's all right?
Right now.
I guess boss is thinking.
For real.
Yeah.
If it
Maybe
helps.
he's trying to.
I don't think
Well, I'm
he
We're
would
trying to
trying
answer
to-
that
think if he
question.
would know. No, he wouldn't know. So
Oh,
he
he
would
wouldn't.
say, "I'm afraid I don't know."
We're trying to
All right.
find out if there's a connection with these disappearances.
Do you happen to know a family name of who he was adopted to?
I do not. I was just told also by Wendy, who apparently can't decide to keep her trap shut whenever it's necessary, that he found a family and moved up. So you would have to ask her for any information on that. Like I said, as long as he doesn't bring anything down here, then all is good. I'm proud of him for
Well,
finding a family that would take him in.
speaking of things Wendy mentioned, she mentioned something about a whispering darkness. Can you tell me more about that?
He kind of taps his chin and tilts his head a little bit and says, "Can you clarify what she told you?"
Uh,
He seems very interested in what you're about to say. It's not hidden at all.
all I wrote in my notes is she mentioned something about a whispering darkness. um,
I wasn't there. I can't help you.
yeah. She just mentioned it, Firedale, when in relation to kids going missing, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, she what what she
I
said
don't even remember.
was
I don't remember.
when I asked her about missing kids, she said she'd that people hear rumors about the whispering darkness,
Uh-huh.
and that was the 1st
I've
time
heard those rumors too.
I I have
Ah.
not heard this term before, so I'm intrigued to
Ah. He kind of sits
understand
back
more.
up and seems a little bit disinterested in what you were saying now. Now, it sounds like you don't have any more information than I do. There's been whispers around town, rumors here and there, that when these children went missing about 2 days ago, when Dal went missing and this boy from the street with his father, that whispers were heard nearby, but nobody could place the language or the location. Just that it was very dark sounding, like demonic is how it kind of got described. And it's even started to come around down here, the slums, as parents using the whispering darkness as a way to make sure their kids come inside and aren't out at night, and wives keeping their husbands home. So it's definitely spread as a rumor, but
Firedale, how
really
long ago did he say?
2 days ago.
Days.
Okay.
Yeah, he said Dal and the boy went missing 2 days ago.
So it's not dough, it's dow. How do you spell that?
DOWL.
D-O-W.
I heard
Dowel,
I
but
had
without the
D-O.
E.
Yep.
Dow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had dough.
Yeah, we
he
had been
calls
told
him
Dow.
Dow. Yeah, Doe is what the other ones know him
Yeah,
as.
Dow was what
Charlie
Wendy
is also
said.
Charles.
Okay, so 2 days ago, which would be
Dang, we haven't actually set up a calendar, have we?
well, it would be after the the field after the fog
Uh-huh.
because we were out exploring for at
Oh.
least 2 days.
Let's say a Tuesday. Let's cement it. Let's say 2 days ago was a Tuesday.
Okay. And the fog happened on what day?
The fog happened on the Saturday.
Saturday to Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, because we'd been out there on the water for at least 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm. And what was your name again? I don't believe you said.
I don't believe I did either.
You never asked, Kohl.
Well, I just did.
No, you
He just
didn't.
kind of smiles. Said, any other questions?
I'll just call you Carl. So Carl.
If
Do you know of
want to call
anybody
me
else
anything,
who's
call me
been-
Pops.
Oh,
Okay.
Pops. Okay.
I do not. I know everybody uptown based on what I've heard through, as you call it, the grapevine, that no disappearances seem to have happened uptown. Normally, if they were, it would be big news and everything like that. So I can't really speak of anything up there. I'm not really in the know. This is my part of town. Down here, though, as I said, Dow's the only one that seems to have gone missing here.
And you said
Um,
the Whisper in Darkness rumor started about the same time as her disappearance.
It did.
And it's a
Have
language that
any-
nobody
Did-
has
Any
clocked in on.
unfamiliar folks rolled into town, aside from us, of course, around that time period?
He's thinking to himself for a moment, and then he kind of squints his eye and thinks harder and tilts his head the other way, and then he says, "No, not that I can think of.
Hmm.
You all are about the only people in town that I'm not used to seeing around these parts."
Do you know the general area where he went missing?
I do. I know where he was supposed to be working that day.
That'd be
From
great.
what I understand, on your way here, you passed through it with Wendy.
The where I took her
The
on
market
the
or
roof?
the alley?
The market.
Market.
Okay.
Okay.
So went
Yeah,
missing from the market.
he was supposed to be down there working with Wendy that day, and she said he went off to check a mark, and she turned
Then just
around
poof.
and he was gone.
Sounds similar to what happened in the market in the working quadrant.
She said right when it happened that she noticed that people were looking around as if they heard something or saw something. And that's when people started saying, "Did you hear that? Or did you hear this?" And so I thought the rumor started down here, but based on what I've been told about the boy's disappearance up in Midtown, that the same thing seems to have happened there right around the same time.
Hmm.
I don't know a specific time of day it was, but it was definitely the same day, the same afternoon, at least. It's become more of a boogeyman at the time, but based on the questions that y'all seem to be asking, uh, it appears that you've been charged with looking into this, and you know, I take care of these kids, and they help take care of me. So I really want to keep things safe, as they say.
Trying to find any connection between these disappearances. Anything similar between the kids that have gone missing. Either just
Similar,
like
similarity
age
wise,
ranges, appearance, anything.
I can tell you both had an affinity for magic.
Ooh.
Dal had just learned that he could manipulate fire.
So both Dowl and who?
The boy that
Charles?
went missing. No, not Charles. The one uptown went missing. He had
Oh.
apparently been showing off to his friends the day before. I don't know what magics he may have had, but a no doubt could flick a flame.
How
Just
long
look at
have
a
they been
candle
able
and
to do
snap,
that?
and suddenly it would light up. I don't know.
How long have you been able to? Yeah.
I just learned about it yesterday as well.
I'm starting to wonder because there's been some weird stuff going on. I don't know how much word you've gotten around here, but we were out by hearing word from one of the towns near the coast. Apparently, some fog rolled in out of nowhere, and weird stuff's been going down ever since.
Interesting about the fog. No, that I hadn't heard of. I saw the big
fog
blue
didn't reach
wave that
here.
came through, but it just seemed to come and go as quickly. So that's interesting to know.
Out of character, should we mention that it zapped our magic?
Out of character, I don't
The
want to
blue
let him know
wave.
where we're from particularly right now. There will be a time for that, but I don't think that's wise yet. So I don't want to
Yeah.
mention a tower or how close to
but
the coast we were. But
all I was saying, should we mention it that it zapped our power when that blue wave went through?
Well, he hasn't mentioned the blue wave, so I don't know if it got
he just mentioned the blue wave.
He just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that part. I only heard the fog. I'm sorry.
No, he said he didn't know about the fog. All he knew about
when
was
the
the blue wave
went
that came
through.
and went just as quickly.
Okay. Apologies,
That's why
I
I
had a
was-
coughing fit. I couldn't hear.
No
I'm
problem.
like, he just mentioned it. So that's why I
Look.
was asking, should we mention that, yeah, it zapped our power too when that blue wave came through?
I think
Only if you want to out that you have magic, although you went invisible, so he probably knows you do.
I think rather than
True.
like coming right out and saying it, ask if the blue wave affected anyone in any way.
You mentioned the blue wave. Did you notice anything else weird when it came through?
Nothing really out of the ordinary as far as I can remember. It's been several days. Everybody's still walking around. Pockets are still clean and open. And
Do you have any affinity for magic yourself?
no, I don't.
All right.
He seems a little bit confused for the moment.
Do you know
apologies
if
if we're all
more-
over the place. We're just trying to get as much information as possible.
Do you do
know if
any
more?
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you know if any more of your kids have affinities for magic?
I do not.
I would
He
suggest
seems to be
finding out
very
and
terse
keeping
with
watch.
his answers at the moment. He went from answering in nice, long wordage to giving you as short answers as he possibly can.
And as I was saying,
He was
I
probably
would
hoping for
see
more
about
patience from
finding
us.
out and keeping closer watch.
I won't do so. He nods his head and says, I won't do so. And then he
Okay.
looks kind of angry. It passes very quickly.
Have we offended in some way?
Not at all.
Mistral's
And
gonna
he nods his head.
shake her head. Yeah. Shake her head at Kohl like don't.
He stands up rather abruptly and says, okay, I think it's time that you move on now. You know where to find me if you need to ask me questions later.
That sounds reasonable.
And he
Mistral's
starts to walk out of
Apologies
the
if
gonna
we
room.
nod
overstayed our
and she's
welcome.
gonna go to shake his hand and goodbye.
I'm sorry, am I dumb or did he just emphasize later?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm passing him a coin in my hand with the same trick that Kohl did earlier.
Right. He accepts it. He
Not there.
shakes your
Don't
hand.
mind me, but I was trying. Notes, anyways.
And he says, "Thank you. I hope to not see you again." And then looks very angry, turns around and almost jogs out of the room, and immediately slams the door behind him.
We start heading for the door.
Hold on. I gotta make sure that I know. Sorry. Because some people will hear this. There he is.
17. If you're looking at my passive perception.
Mine's a 15.
Nicole, new one.
Kohl.
Thanks
Where do we
for
find
following
that?
me.
It's
Erlen
underneath saving throws
and
and
Mistral.
senses. Hmm.
Through the door, you hear just this random kind of mutter yell as if he's trying to keep his voice down, but it's still loud enough for you to hear. What are you saying to these people?
I guess Wendy got back.
Either way, I think we're supposed to quietly make our way out.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yep.
I'm gonna lean over to Mistral and be like, I know I don't always have the best social cues. Did I say something wrong?
Erlen?
We can talk, but not here.
I'm just
Erlen?
gonna pull Kohl. What?
From the conversation and the context of what was going on and the looks he was giving, he seemed to not be really looking at anyone specific when he was getting angry. So you're pretty sure he was taking some issue or offense with himself for some reason. That's what your insight gives you.
Oh, you have a good
Okay.
passive insight. Yeah, I wondered
so
if
I'm just
he
gonna
was
pull that
referring
Kohl.
to himself, not to someone else when he said that out loud.
I'm gonna pull that Kohl and be like, talk outside. Let's go.
I follow outside.
The boys are still standing there by the door. They look kind of startled that the door opens and you all
Suddenly
are
there's
actually
3.
walking out.
Yep, there's 3.
Yep. And suddenly there's the third one.
I'll wink at them as I walk by.
Okay,
One of them whistles at you, thinking you're quite sexy.
Okay, and I'll just keep walking.
I am going to reach in a bag and then hold my hand out to one of them.
Uh-huh. He holds
Like I
his
did
hand
when
out?
I gave him gold before. And in it is a frog.
A frog?
Yep.
He jump startled for a minute and then laughs and starts showing it to the other guy, saying, "Look at this, look at this. He gave me a frog. You can't have it."
That was from my Hat of Vermin.
Okay.
Nice.
So y'all step out. What next?
As soon as we get far enough away,
Try to get away from prying ears. Try to do a perception to make sure we're not being watched or eavesdropped on.
Same.
Okay. So you're pretty sure that you found a nice little alleyway. You don't see anybody around.
So that was a little weird at the end.
Give me 1 sec.
Do we need to do a check for that? I'm sorry, I had a coughing fit again.
If you want
I
to
was
doubly
just writing
make
down.
sure, give me a roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna quietly
25,
whisper.
not 20.
With your 25, the nice alleyway that you thought was pretty clear and clean isn't, as there's a small, recognizable gnome that is sticking his head around the corner occasionally.
I'm gonna give him a thumbs up and keep dragging Kohl and Erlen away.
Okay.
And be like, nope, not here.
Okay. He nods his
Oh,
head.
wait,
He
where are we
waves
going?
as you give him the thumbs up and realize he's been caught, and you see him no more.
Yep.
I wonder if boss is making them follow us. I mean, I do have one secret language that I can use with Cole that I don't think most people will know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after looking around a little bit more, you think you found a nice alcove that you definitely see if anybody's coming from one side, and it's got a big brick wall behind. It's like the end of an alleyway. So you're pretty sure it's as, with being in the middle of town, it's probably as empty as it can be.
Okay, so I'll pull Mistral and Cole in close and hushed say, I think he's mad at himself for devolving too much information.
Yeah, hopefully the coin I gave him at the end will help him feel a little bit better about that.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who got that feeling?
I mean, he definitely seemed tense, but I wasn't entirely certain if it was just himself or possibly more ears coming in. We
So
might
I
have been
definitely
getting
also
listened in on at the
think-
end there.
Is it
Well,
weird to you or both kids having magic?
Does somebody hear a phone ringing?
No.
nope.
Not
Nope.
here.
Nope.
Nope.
I've muted everything and been looking for it. It's driving me up a wall.
Probably something in your house. The call is coming from inside your house.
I think it's coming from inside my brain.
Well,
Uh,
I think he gave us some pretty good information there.
he did, and especially the voice. If we can find anyone who actually heard the voice.
And the magic
In
affinity is a pretty
language.
good lead as well.
Mhm.
Maybe we go back to the market and see if anyone knows about the language.
Yeah. Are
I'd like
we
to go
far
talk
enough
to the-
away? Are we far enough away from like the street urchins enough that we could clean up a bit?
You are.
Look like ourselves again.
Yes.
Alright, I will pull out cleansing stone and use that. And offer
I'll
it
be
to
holding out my hands.
Cole and Erlen.
Oh, Pack
Poof,
Rat!
you feel almost
Thank
as
you for the
fresh as a fresh
raid.
bath
Welcome,
and
raiders.
freshly laundered clothing. You don't
Mhm.
smell quite as good without the soap that you try and use
We are
very
playing
often.
some
but you're
D&D
pretty
tonight.
clean.
Am
I
I
didn't
clean
make
too?
us that dirty,
Yes.
so.
Okay.
We are in the middle of a search for some missing kids.
I know I would like to go see if I can talk to the dad of the missing boy.
Yeah, I think
Because
that's
it
our
was the
next
dad, right?
stop.
Because if
Yeah, I wanted
we
to
can
clean us up
find
before we go to
out
the
that-
working class. Mm-hmm.
if we can find out that that kid also had magic,
Right?
Yeah.
that's a big
Which
clue.
I think that's what
He did mention that that kid had apparently been showing off to his
Yeah,
friends.
he'd been showing off in town.
He doesn't know what kind of magic it was, but just that he had been showing some kind of magic to his friends.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't the other.
Yeah.
Dal had apparently been showing off that he can light small flames.
hopefully
But so was the working class kid.
Bannock and
He was showing off he
Adeline
had something.
have gotten some good information on that.
So
Maybe we
speaking
should
of,
probably go meet up with him.
Yep.
so I just finding a good spot here. So speaking of,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
while this
Ah.
group is over huddled in a corner in a dark alley after kidnapping and stalking children,
Man, a lot happened on you guys this time.
Sorry.
Like, whoa.
Bannock, you and Adeline, I know I'm going to end up calling you Adeline so many times.
It's okay. I don't catch it
Sorry.
half the times, anyways.
What would be best described in our terms as like a bus boy type thing? So not a waiter, but somebody a little more dressed up as, you know, like a catered person
Attendant?
comes to your table and says, "Sir, uh, there are some people outside that would like to speak with you." I
All right.
We
apologize.
hadn't actually left the restaurant yet.
Perhaps we should go outside and see what these people want.
I guess asking the children. We'll just have to wait for now.
Well, perhaps we'll have better luck outside.
Yep,
It was
so
a very delicious breakfast.
he bows
Well,
his head and holds out his hand.
Yep, waiting for his tip.
Oh, we'll take out a little coin from my coin purse and hand it to the young man and pat him on the shoulder.
What are you giving him?
Yeah, we'll give him a gold piece. 'Cause he's
Okay.
doing good work.
Thank you kindly, sir. He bows again and scurries back off. So,
Yep.
yeah, y'all finish your meal, and having heard your rumors, heard that nothing really going on uptown, other than people
Oh.
claiming that everybody downtown is, you know, letting their children go missing and out when they shouldn't. You make your way out of this fine establishment, and waiting by the door are two rather not really disheveled but scruffy looking town guards. Both of them have pikes that they are holding. They are dressed up in chainmail, not really plate mail, but they've got a chain shirt on and a little leather waist. They obviously look like the Novell Town Guard that you've seen before. And one of them looks at you and says, "Sir, we've had reports that you were seen with a Hadozi around town previously. We have some questions for you."
Uh-oh.
The character. What's a Hadozi?
That's me.
Kohl.
Kohl,
That was quick.
kidnapping.
Yeah, and I just kind of I think about it for a moment. I'm like, just kind of gently take my hand, place it over my face, and just kind of let out an exasperated sigh because I know exactly what has happened. All right. I believe I can answer some of your questions, but perhaps not all of them.
How has this made its way into high society? When we
Goes
were
fast.
in the
Guard
the
communicated with the other guard.
lowest of the low.
People
They
be,
had guards in both places, you know?
people be spreading rumors fast, man. I wouldn't be shocked if they ended up with a version of telephone of the information.
Mistral, this entire time, Mistral has been waiting to get a message from Bannock being like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Just what the fuck?
For those that have just joined in the raid,
I thought we were good, man.
last episode,
Okay. So he looks at you and says, "Could we talk
a street
to
urchin
you for a
girl,
moment, sir?" And he kind of
Certainly.
wrings his hands.
kidnapped her
Certainly.
out of the middle of the
Certainly.
street,
What
threw her over
can
my
I do
shoulder,
for you?
took her up
Okay.
onto a roof to
Uh,
talk to her.
We were informed that about
Uh,
15 minutes ago, someone fitting the description of a Hadozi that you were here with kidnapped a small girl down in the slums.
Oh,
So
good
I was
Lord.
wondering if you might be able to tell me your whereabouts in the last few minutes.
Certainly. Yes.
The face
I've
going on of what the
been
fuck?
here. I've been in here the entire time and
Yes,
was
sir.
enjoying
Yes, sir.
a wonderful breakfast. And unfortunately, that's all that I can tell you right now as far as what I know. So I'm just as out of sorts here as you are, trying to figure out what has happened. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, God damn it, Cole.
Can you tell me how long you have been in town, sir?
Not for very long. It's been maybe a day or two.
It's about
A day.
almost
Yeah,
2 days at
we
this
we
point.
came in and we slept, and it's the
Right.
next day.
Right.
It's overnight.
Yes.
Technically, only a
So the
full
guards
day.
look at each other for a minute and kind of nod their heads, then say, "Okay, thank you, sir. That's all the information I need." Do you happen to know where your friend is?
No, but I feel like he would not want me to know because I would probably rend him end from end at this point. He's just starting to get a little bit frustrated. Like, I am just as curious what has happened as you gentlemen are, and I apologize that I do not have more answers for you, but
There's
please.
been some disappearances around town, and
Hmm,
this just really came up all of the sudden here. But it seems
interesting.
you're not related. But we definitely need to find your friend.
Yes, but s-
So
by any
badly when the
chance
party
would
meets
you,
up again.
by any chance would you happen to know a little bit about these disappearances? We've heard the same thing, and we were very curious. We have been asking around to see if anyone around here may have heard anything, and unfortunately, not very much has been known. Just very vague and basic things.
I'm sorry, sir. We're not able to discuss an ongoing investigation into these disappearances. Everyone knows that they've been having, but we're trying to find some leads to these. So that's all I can really discuss with you, sir. I'm sure you understand. I'm
I
sure
do, I
someone of
do.
your class wouldn't be
Certainly,
that interested in disappearances anyways.
certainly. I'm just trying to think here.
You could name drop Elsbeth. I don't know if we're supposed to, but you
Yeah.
I don't see why
You could
not.
mention that
we were literally
Elsbeth
hired
is
to do the
tasked
same
at-
thing, so
could. We were hired. Yeah, you're
I was
higher
gonna-
social strata, but
I was gonna say, would that be persuasion, deception? Which of those roles would that be?
It depends on what
Truth.
you're saying and what you're trying to
convey.
get across. So
Yes.
are you trying to name drop Elsbeth and tell the truth? Are you
Yeah.
trying to be deceptive and keep her name out of it?
No. We'll probably mention Elsbeth. And
have we been
mention-
told to keep her name out of it?
You have not.
Okay,
You were
then
actually
yeah.
told to even ask the couriers if you
Well,
needed
there you go.
contact or anything. So
Yes. Yeah. So sure.
Yeah,
So that'd be persuasion, right?
yes.
Mhm.
you,
Can I wait? What? Wait, was Adeline there?
Did you step out with
Yes.
him?
yes, Adeline's there.
I wasn't here
Well-
that day.
You were
you
following
went up
us.
with him,
Yes.
yes.
You
No,
followed
I mean,
Bannock.
do I know the information that was given?
Yes,
to,
you were in the
Yes.
I wasn't.
office.
You were in the
Yeah.
office with us when we spoke with
Yes.
Elsbeth, and she gave
Yes,
us the
yes,
details on
yes.
the disappearance.
Adeline
Yes.
was
So
definitely
can I-
there, even though you were not.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Mhm.
Can I help then?
Yeah, you can both try and convince. Go ahead and roll a d20 and try and get 10 or better.
25.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Okay.
persuasion.
Yeah. I think we both succeeded.
Yeah. Well, Nihon, that gives you help, so go ahead and roll again. That gives you advantage.
That's
Okay.
better.
17 will definitely do it.
Yeah. So he nods his head and listens, and you mention Elsbeth and how you've actually been hired to look into these disappearances too. And he kind of stands up a little straighter and salutes you, with his hand to his chest, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know that Elsbeth had hired some people to help look into this."
Oh,
Uh,
certainly, you're fine. No need for the salute. I understand that this is simply you being polite and kind and respectful, and I appreciate it. Um, Eddie's guard. But yes. By the way, gentlemen, what are your names? So I may properly address you.
One moment here.
You weren't expecting me to
know,
try and
well.
be kind, huh?
This whole
No,
entire
you're
time, I'm
fine.
trying
the
to
struggle
focus on the
well.
conversation, but all that's going through my head is just how Cole's just gonna get murdered later. Literally, Neon's character.
Explain away my actions.
Neon's character has that like
you're
happy,
gonna you're
closed
gonna
eye expression.
oh you're gonna have to. Oh, certainly.
Okay, the guy you're speaking to is a dwarf, and he names himself Theric Ironfield.
Derek Ironfield.
And
Pleasure to meet you.
his comrade introduces himself as a Lyra Vinshade, and a
Lyra
half
Vinshade.
elf.
Ah, well, pleasure to meet you both, Derek and Lyra. Yes. So yes, if you happen to know anything, I understand that you may not know very much, and there may be some questions and things that you don't want to speculate on, which is perfectly fine. I totally understand that. But whatever information you can pass along to me to help me help you, certainly please let me know.
Help me help you help Elsbeth.
Yes. We're working together here, even if we're not working together. Oh, you know what I mean, right?
Okay, well, if
Two
you've been
teams,
hired,
same
I'm sure
objective.
I'm sure you know about the young child who went missing up in Midtown at the market with his parents when they were out shopping. We're trying to follow up on that. The only thing we can really figure out is that people heard some sort of whispering, and that's all we've really been able to find. There's
Uh-huh.
there was no uh, evidence at the scene, as far as we've been told. Uh, the father was very distraught. The mother was as well. So we don't think that there was any familial uh, thing. Sorry, I'm having trouble word finding now.
No, you're
Like
certainly
foul play,
okay.
familial.
Yes.
Yeah, foul play. That
Yes,
word.
I think I would certainly think you're on the right track with that. Whispering would tell me it was something mythical or otherworldly, perhaps someone using a spell or some creature that exists in some other sort of plane. Something that would want to do this, but do it under the cloak of secrecy and darkness more than anything
That
else.
that's what the captain said as well, because apparently the father had said that his hand got very cold when
Mm.
when his
Yes.
little boy was taken from him.
Do you know if the father was holding on to the little boy's hand and then it felt cold? This may be more information than you know, and pardon me for prying too much, perhaps, but I'm just
Oh no,
trying
sir,
to
no, sir, no,
trying
sir.
to think here.
Anything to help. We were also kind of told that nobody's around to help, so it's very interesting that Elsbeth was able to find someone. So more than happy to help.
Certainly.
The father hit. Based on the report that I remember, the father said he was holding his boy's hand,
Hmm.
and that he just suddenly wasn't there, and his hand felt very cold. We tried to
That's
take a statement from him, but at the time he was very distraught. Uh,
certainly.
the captain may
Oh,
have more information on that, or I'm not sure if you've spoken with the father yourself or not, but that would
no,
probably be the best person to go to.
I haven't spoken with the father yet, nor the captain. Thank you very much for the possibility that they may have some leads. But yeah,
Uh,
this certainly
may
certainly.
and may I have your name, sir?
Yes, Bannock Silverthorn the sixth.
Okay, thank you very much. I
Ah,
need
yes.
to discuss with the captain that Elsbeth has gotten hard help.
Certainly, I understand. No, we do not want to barge in and surprise the captain. Never ends well when that happens, you know. uh, we shall not talk about the Satchmo incident ever again.
He kind of
Such no
tilts his head.
incident.
Sorry. I'm simply talking to myself, reliving old memories.
And
Yes, but thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
oh, thank you. And then he kind of picks up again. They both kind of turn to walk away. He turns back around and says, So, about this friend of yours,
Yes. Yes.
do you think it was someone else? No one else has seen any other Hadizee around town. I can't imagine that Elsbeth would hire somebody that kidnaps little children.
I'm not
you would-
certain. I'm not
You
certain.
would
would be
know that we were doing a
famil-
two-pronged approach, and you would
Yeah.
know that we were
Yeah.
investigating the
And
lower
you would
end.
be fairly
Yeah.
familiar with my
Yes.
investigatory tactics.
He's
Probably trying to cause a stir.
He's a little brash sometimes, I guess you can say. A little bit of a, how would we put it? Likes to act first and think later kind of fellow.
Okay.
So
Can you give me another persuasion check, please?
certainly.
15's not bad. I like that, Mistral. His investigative methods are unorthodox.
He
but
seems convinced by what you've told him. Says, "Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to call the town guard.
Certainly.
We're very short-handed at the moment, but we will do our best to help."
Certainly. Well, thank you. I will not bother you so very much, but if the need arises, I will make sure to let you know.
Okay. So then he turns back around and starts to walk away with his companion. They're talking back and forth and whispering about maybe it was somebody else. He doesn't seem like he would associate with thieves and scoundrels.
So he sees them walking away. He can kind of gently hear them kind of debating back and forth about the whole situation. So Bandic's got a smile on his face, a little bit of a smug pride. He's giving himself a hearty chuckle under his breath. And he's just like, Bandic, you surprised me. Surprise yourself even in these days. He's kind of like, his grin exists for a couple of seconds and it just kind of drops. And he just turns into a scowl. And he's like, Kohl.
Damn it! What did you do now?
Okay, so you've had this information.
I love that it's
Again,
spread so
this
far
was
already.
reported about 15 minutes ago, is what the guards said. So, what would you all like to do up here?
So we don't really have I guess we don't really know where the father is. We know that the guards are going to go talk to
The
the
report
captain.
that Mistral has that information on it.
Okay, then I think we're probably gonna. I was gonna say we're probably gonna want to go find them for two reasons: one, to see what they've uncovered, and two, because a certain big fellow needs a talking to about his
Mhm.
investigative methods. Once again, putting us in a little bit of a pickle.
Okay, so I would say at this point, after having the nice meal and the long conversation with Pops and the whole chasing down and everything, that it's probably about 11:30 at this point. So
Okay.
it's getting pretty close to noon.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let me know when we're able to interact again, because I would have sent Bannock a message to let him know we're coming.
yeah, so is there anything else that Bannock and Adeline would like to do for maybe the next 10 minutes or so that you have until we get past where they had their conversation in the alleyway?
No.
For me, no.
Okay. So going back, continuing the conversation in the alleyway, I'm assuming that Bannock and Adeline are going to start heading back to the meeting point since it's almost noon.
Yes.
Okay.
Dylan's gonna
So-
hit Kohl with the back of her short sword.
Well, before
We're not
before
at the
we-
We're
meeting
not there
point yet.
Yeah, before we get there, Mistral
No,
is
I
going
was
to
just saying.
cast message,
Okay.
and
That's all
she's
I
going
wanted to
to
do.
send a message to Bannock and be like, "We got some information. We're heading back to you." Kohl went a bit off the rails. We do apologize for that.
Oh, I know. I sent a message back. It's very, very short. It is the words.
Yeah, you can reply, so
Oh.
yeah.
I know. I know.
And suddenly it occurs to Mistral. How does he know?
Oh dear, word travels quickly, doesn't it?
Well,
Can,
I mean, when you
can
have an
Kohl hear
ongoing
your
investigation into missing children, and suddenly people are yelling, "There's a kidnapping! There's a kidnapping!"
Can Kohl
This-
hear you speaking to Bannock? I know he
This
can't
was
hear
the
Bannock.
magical message, so I am whispering very quietly.
Nope, only the receiver hears it.
Yep. I am fiddling with a copper wire, so you know that I'm probably sending a message because you've seen me do this before. So.
I probably see you get like a certain look on your face at his response, and as soon as I see it, I just grin.
Yeah, you see me mimicking the hand on face motion that Bannock did earlier almost
Yep.
exactly.
Yep. Like, oh, I
And
know
I'm just gonna
what's
shake my
going
head
on.
and smack Kohl in the
Ow.
arm.
Am I always getting hit?
Kidnapping?
It wasn't a kidnapping. I just talked to her.
So you sent
You
your
grabbed
message?
her and
Yep, and then
ran.
head to the meeting point. Yep.
Okay.
Walking and
How
talking,
else do you
basically.
speak to a street urchin
Lure them
who
in
doesn't
with
want to
money?
talk to you? Well, you gotta get them away from people first. Or
Okay,
they'll
so
just
y'all
bolt.
start heading out of the alleyway into the meeting spot.
Keep talking. I'm entertained.
Kohl,
Uh-huh.
you feel a tug at your coin purse.
I grab the arm and look down.
There's the slightest squeak, but then nothing else. You recognize the squeak.
Is it Wendy?
And she says, "Well, I had to try."
It's attached to
Thank
a
you.
rope. I thought you would have learned the lesson last time. It's empty.
Is that how you caught me so quickly?
Yes!
She kind of stomps her foot. Says, "I need to learn."
Look, it's
Oh.
literally empty.
Hey,
She picks
Wendy.
it up and looks. Yes.
I rigged it so that I could
Wendy,
catch you and talk to your boss.
Speaking of boss, hey Wendy, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Wendy
I'm
doesn't
surprised
know
she
who you are.
Nope.
Yeah, she doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, she's looking at you confused, but she still said yes. I mean, he's got her by the arm. It's not like she can say no.
Boss mentioned you told him Charlie moved uptown. Do you
Yes.
know what family? We
I
want
don't.
to.
He just told me that he had found a family uptown and packed up
So
his stuff and he
That's
left.
good info. That's good info that he told her.
Have you seen him recently? We want to make sure he hasn't also gone missing.
I haven't, but I don't often go uptown. We tend to stick around the slums down here.
Wendy,
Yes.
now this is an important question.
Yes.
Do you have an affinity to magic?
She holds out her hand, palm up.
Don't do it. Just yes or no.
She looks at you, then looks down at her hand, and then back up at you.
That's a no.
Okay.
Oh no,
You
she's
know of
she's
any-
asking for
coin.
gold. She's asking for
Yeah,
money.
she's
Ow.
asking for gold. The rest of us figured that out.
Okay, I will dig out a gold
Now,
and I will
Mistral's
place it.
gonna stop you before you do.
I think you've perused enough of our funds.
The girl's got to try.
I'll make you a deal, Wendy.
Uh-huh.
Answer this and my next question, and I will give you a gold.
She gets a big grin on her face and says, "I'm listening, Feather Lady."
Mistral's just muttering under her breath. These people have no idea the value of their coins.
I don't care. It's 1 gold for me. Do you have an affinity for magic, my dear?
2 questions, right?
Yes, that was my first question.
No.
Do you know any other kids that do?
Doe.
Yeah, I was
He
gonna
could
say
like
besides
plants.
the one we already know about.
Well, besides Doe.
Well, that you already asked your question.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna answer
She's
that.
holding her hand out.
I'll give her I'll dig out a piece of gold and I'll give it to her.
Thank you,
Oh,
Wendy.
she takes it and then says, "No, I don't know any other children around these parts that can either."
I have a feeling that magic might tie these disappearances together. If you notice anybody, be careful, please.
She nods her head enthusiastically, like this big fucking loaf over here, and points her thumb back at Kohl.
What's
And
the
then,
temperature like outside?
it's fall-ish, so it's cool but not cold. It's kind of comfortable at the moment.
I'm
and
gonna
it's
pick up
about
a
noon.
pebble, cast
Uh-huh.
prestidigitation on it, kind of quietly to warm it up, and I'm gonna put it in her hand.
Oh, well, thank you.
She has a warm rock for an hour.
Thank you very much. She rubs her hands together. The gold has disappeared.
That's still impressive.
Then she kind of looks up at Erlen there and then looks down at her wrist and says, "Can you please ask him to let me go now? I'm feeling like I might need to scream again, for real this time."
Mistral's gonna
I-
pat
Smack
Kohl
Kohl
on
on
the
the arm.
shoulder.
I would have let go by that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I never said it, but I would have let go already. I would have let go before she answered the questions.
Okay.
See you later, Magic
Anything
Fingers.
else? If anything else, you know where to find me.
I know how
Just
to
take care of yourself,
Or
please.
I know
Attempt
where
to.
to find you.
Equally
You feel
true.
one more tug at your coin purse as she walks away. It's
Still
not even
empty.
hidden this time. She's just tugging
Yep.
and walking away, and then
Yep.
lets it go when it hangs there next to you.
Before I completely walk away, I just pat myself down to check if anything else is missing.
Yep.
Roll an investigation
I
check.
think we're
please.
all checking ourselves right now. Yep.
Everybody, give me an investigation check.
Sneaky child.
I'm not great at investigating, but okay. 16.
You're better than me.
I will hand the Eyes of Minute Seeing over to Erlen.
Just
Or,
in case.
no, everybody's rolled, but
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did already. It's okay.
Can I?
alright, I'll use it myself
Is that
then, I
a
guess,
roll?
whatever,
Yep.
Oh,
since you
okay.
had already done it. Like we'll take time to look again, I guess.
Okay.
That's just
To be
advantage.
fair, I shoved
Okay,
all my
go ahead and
shit
roll
in my
again.
bag of holding prior to going,
Cole did too.
and I
believe.
put the
Yep, I did.
yeah.
Yeah, I have rolled terribly. It's fine.
Everyone is pretty sure that you still have everything you should have.
Okay.
Minus the gold we gave up.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing else of really eventful happens. You all are starting to leave the marketplace. And Cole,
Yep.
you finally see yourself beset upon by 4 town guards.
Howdy, fellas.
One of them steps forward. He's a human gentleman. He says, "Sir, we have some questions for you."
Elsbeth hired us.
The little
give
girl's
him-
fine. She's still in the quarter.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okie doke. 16.
Okay, he kind of calms down a little bit and looks at you and he says,
I
"It was
needed.
windy, wasn't it?"
Yep.
He nods his head
We were trying
knowingly.
to get attention
I
to
needed some
answer, get some
information out of
questions
her.
answered.
And when I grabbed
he
her, she
waves
screamed.
the others off, and they kind of relax their hold on their packs there. And
I'm assuming
says,
Wendy's pulled this before.
"Are you saying that out loud?"
Yes.
Yeah, he says, yes, we've actually tried to take her into custody a few times and had many a rock thrown at us over this situation.
You should
So
try Cole's coin purse strap. Works quite well.
Coin purse strap?
Yeah, let's check it
The
out.
trap. Yes.
Trap.
Oh,
I show him what I rigged up.
interesting. The other people are kind of looking at it and nodding, and there's even a few people around the street kind of looking over your way and peeking up and over to get an eye and then moving on. So eventually it dies down, and they say, okay, sir, thank you for your time. Sorry for the
Yup.
bother.
Sorry for the
Have a
major
good day.
distraction.
And they start walking off, and he says, this is going to be another one of those paper days, isn't it? And eventually you all finally meet back up at the end.
Well, we fixed the guard thing before we met up with Danik.
Not quite.
Let's do roll to hit.
I
I want
attack
hit with back of short sword.
Benedict,
unarmed attack
Adeline,
roll normally, but
nice to see you again.
Okay, so y'all get together. First things first. If you would please, can you please give me an unarmed strike with your sword there? Or
I am
can I say that
totally-
I've clamped a hand on Cole's shoulder to hold him in place?
Oh, I was about to say I am totally expecting this. Can I try and dodge?
Yeah, so Adeline, give me an unarmed strike attack with
Okay.
advantage.
I have to do that twice because
Dang it.
I'm just okay.
You really
I
think
don't
Danik and I
literally-
wouldn't have talked? Come on.
No, I
So-
know you talked. That's why I was ready for it.
Adeline typically wears like this kimono style, right? So she literally has her arms in her sleeves. She looks calm, and then all of a sudden she just goes to smack him. And now I gotta roll 20s. Yo!
Oh,
Nat
really?
20.
No, I'm assuming you're not trying to kill him.
No.
No, I'm not trying to kill him.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes,
he
I'm
is.
trying to kill him.
Certainly.
so okay, here's what happened.
Can I roll
Cole.
a
You
dodge
might
with
just knock him out.
disadvantage?
Cole,
If
You're
I knocked him
standing
out, I
there.
knocked him out.
you feel Mistral's hand on your shoulder.
Oh, crap.
You see Adeline, who is normally quite stoic and quiet and everything, walking up next to Bannock with you, and then you just see a fire light in her eyes for a split second. This split
I
second
pull out
is
the staff of healing.
It's so long in your mind, almost in slow motion. You see her pull out her short sword from her kimono, turn it around on its side, and bop you on the top of the head with it. Take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
What on earth were you thinking?
Oh, that was my eye.
It serves
Oh.
you right.
You have eyes on the top of your head?
What the hilt kind of like. She wasn't careful
I
with the
think
hilt.
you're full of a Cole.
Poor Cole. First he kidnaps somebody, then gets beat up.
Like, I rolled a second time to see what it would have a normal advantage.
Yeah, roll again just to see if, or roll to see what your actual damage would have been if you were actually fighting something.
Hang on.
Hit the
If I
pink
was
thing.
actually fighting.
Hit the pink thing.
Yeah.
0 bludgeoning?
You have a minus in strength, don't you?
Yeah,
I do have a minus.
so it's just a bonk.
It's a
yeah.
1
No
minimum,
damage
yeah.
bonk.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do have a minus. That's why I didn't throw something at you. If I threw something at you, that would have been different, kind sir.
So now that we've
Okay.
got the total party kill out of the way here,
Total
Please
party
continue.
kill. The whole party just beat up on one man.
Relax. It's all handled.
We met the guards on the way here and we cleared it up.
And
Medic might have something to say about
he
that too.
gently walks over to Cole, seeing that he's been bopped. He like gets down a little bit and he kind of puts his arm around him and he leans in a little bit. He's like, "Cole, old buddy,
Yep.
how you doing?"
Yeah,
I'm
Mistral lets
doing
go the
great,
second
thank
Bannock
you.
approaches.
This ain't
Great.
I got
going
my
too well in
magic
Cole's
back.
favor.
Fantastic. I
Got
am
some good
so
info.
glad to hear that. I am so proud of you. You got your magic
Thank
back
you,
and
thank
everything.
you, thank you.
That's
But
fantastic.
kidnapping?
How about this? You know what? Why don't we celebrate, you know?
Hmm?
Let's go on a vacation. You know, let's go on a nice trip. We'll go on a wonderful trip somewhere far away. I know. How about we go to Sancho? That would be great, wouldn't it, Cole? Wouldn't it be
Getting dragged
fantastic?
away
You
like
know that
rock
I'm
place,
getting a little
right?
scared.
You know that place. He's got
Mistral's
grin
face
his
is
grin
like
is, becoming, like,
progressively.
more and more like almost
Did we
like
just lose
out
a
of
party
control.
member? Is that
Yeah.
what happened? Oh,
Yeah,
what
you
do mean,
remember
yeah?
Sancho, right? Yeah, we should go.
Mistral's face
Oh,
is
wait,
beginning to match her hair.
wait, we can't go back there because I had to use every tool in my book to bail your sorry ass out of there when you nearly got us all killed, and now we're wanted there because of a stupid misunderstanding that was because you kidnapped the princess of Sancho.
Mistral is going to cough and use prestidigitation to do a loud gong sound somewhere else.
Oh.
Did we
When
not have a
Sancho?
discussion? Did we not have a discussion about
We do not talk
this
about the Sancho
last
incident.
time? After the
Oh.
Sancho incident,
It's like the logic of
about
Vegas.
your
What happens
methods,
in Vegas
and
stays in
I
Vegas.
understand. I understand that you have different
Oh.
methods. I understand that we do things differently, and that's okay. That diversity makes us stronger. It makes us a better unit. We have different ways of going about it. But I specifically told you to avoid causing a ruckus kidnapping someone, didn't I? Because
Did
there
you
are
mention
certain
kidnapping?
things in this world that are not okay to do and very very difficult to explain to people.
Listen, it wasn't an actual kidnapping. I grabbed.
It was the appearance of it that is the
Yes.
problem.
Bannock, to
I
help you
got the
calm down a
information.
little bit, though. Apparently, this girl is known for the guards for doing this, so we did manage to clear it up. Yes,
Good.
yes.
I also cleared it up, so
I
thank
fully
you.
We're
expected
good.
Cole to say, I didn't
We're-
kidnap anyone. I just
we're-
took a child and ran
We're
off.
good.
Just waiting for
If
that
he would have
response
turned
too,
around and
not
said
gonna
that, I would
lie.
have still looked at him and said, "It looked a heck of a lot like kidnapping. Shut it."
It's
Like, I'm
less
not gonna lie, I
about
was
the
waiting for that response.
outcome and more about the principle of the thing.
I knew I could.
To be fair, I
explain it.
smacked myself in the face when he did it.
Thank you. With that said,
And that princess wanted to come with me. Thank you very much.
we're not going to relitigate Sancho
Right,
at this
right.
point.
Cole,
Yep.
not helping.
Not helping.
Quit while you're
Anyways.
behind, please.
We got some good
Anyways,
info.
I was just about to ask, what did you guys find?
There were two kids from the lower part of town that were supposedly missing, but one of them has apparently moved uptown,
Was adopted by a family.
was
Interesting.
adopted.
But we do
And-
have confirm of one missing.
And the one that we do
And-
know is missing had magical ability.
Which
Well, that's-
apparently
that's
also
new.
the middle class kid was showing off their magic abilities the day before he went missing.
And there were whispers when they went missing that people heard, although no one understood what was said.
Interesting. We also uncovered a situation where there was a child who was disappeared and whispers were heard, and the father said that he had a cold touch to his hand. His hand was cold afterwards. It was very ethereal sounding. Certainly, something from
Arcane in
perhaps
nature.
yes, arcane in nature, perhaps from another plane. None of these things are particularly pleasing to discuss, but it is the truth.
Yeah, the boss mentioned that nobody could pick up on whatever language the whispering was.
I'd be interested to
Yes.
see if we could find anyone who heard these whispers.
I
Damn it.
I
College
would
of
say
Whispers
so as
Bard, and I
well.
have nothing that can help.
The father that we may have talked to, who was mentioned in the may have been mentioned to you. I'm not certain on that.
Elsbeth told us about him, yes.
Yes, he may have
Elspeth
some more
also
info.
mentioned the cold hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Yes, that was not new information. Yep.
Yep.
Turn to Mistral. I'm like, you sure I wasn't speaking the language of the people in Sancho?
I actually am wondering, especially with the cold being mentioned, if we might be dealing with something
Right,
more
right,
infernal
right.
in
Excuse,
nature.
pardon me. You are correct on that. Correct. If it had been Sancho, they would have just set the father alight or something like that. It's stupid, but yes, continue.
Yeah, Sancho would have been a bit more blatant.
I
Less
still
subtle.
want to know what Sancho is.
My assumption is it's
Doesn't
some sort
matter.
of mission we were on.
Okay,
love
no,
it.
stepping out of the character real quick. It's a past adventure we went on. I'm just referencing
Ah.
mysterious adventure that went sideways.
That we
Because you
do not
kidnapped a
talk
princess.
about, other than
That we
to
don't talk
reference
about.
this. We do not talk about this.
Yes.
Yep.
What exactly happened? That's for everyone to speculate on in the chat.
It's our Budapest. Yeah.
Dun, dun,
College.
dun.
I'm a College of Whispers Bard. Can I do anything with this information?
Wait.
You can actually, if you would, make either a history or a knowledge check, or arcana check. You mean arcana check?
I'm sorry, which one?
Arcana.
Whichever one.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Wah.
It doesn't ring a bell of any songs you've heard or anything in your repertoire.
No references to the
There's
whispering
lots of
dark in your
whispering.
repertoire.
There's lots of songs about darkness. There's lots of songs about things whispering in the darkness, but nothing that really fits anything like the situation that you all are uncovering now. If such a song exists, you don't know it.
Okay.
I know what I'm taking as a prepared spell tomorrow.
What's that?
Tongues.
Not bad plan.
Might come in handy.
Well, I don't know that we have a way to view a memory, which would be ideal. Otherwise, we're just going to be going off of what was heard,
Unless
and
it happens
if
again.
if they recall it clearly enough to be able to repeat it, especially when they couldn't understand it. Which is unlikely.
I don't feel like putting a child up for bait to see if one will get snatched after showing off
No,
magic.
I don't believe that's wise.
Question. It's nighttime now, right?
It was
No,
noon
it's like
when we met
noon.
up. It's
Damn
noon.
it. So, could I possibly, because I have to wait for nighttime for this, because the college is only active at night. Could I ask around people at night?
Yeah, but then you'd be going off hearsay as to what they heard.
Yeah, maybe after we talk to the father. You
Yeah,
can
let's go
ask
talk
this
to the
evening
father.
with all of the information you have. Sound good?
I said ye.
Okay, we couldn't hear you.
Allie,
Maddie.
check the
Sounds good.
Discord real quick, Allie.
No, it's illegal.
Ryu says, what good are children if you can't use them as bait? I don't want children to go missing, thank you.
My phone's on silent.
Oh, you didn't read the rest of it?
No, I was just saying my phone's on silent.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, y'all met up.
Also, my computer doesn't make a sound.
Reread
It would be. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Reread it.
Reread it.
Oh,
I doubt its computer sounds from my mic because my mic is very far from my computer.
There is some kind of sound coming out of your mic.
Yeah.
can't
Yours
be.
is
How
My,
weird.
Yours is lighting up every time the sound happens.
it can't be my computer, and my phone's muted. So
No.
It's a very,
Interesting.
very light sound.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice
it's
it
not-
until
yeah.
Nihon mentioned it.
I didn't even notice it until I heard something.
I don't.
So, anyway,
Anyways,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It's good though.
We go talk to the father.
Yep, let's go do that.
yeah. So it's about noon. Fishing through the letters, you can definitely find information about where these people live. The father's name is Harven Tolbrook, Harven. The mother's name is Mira, and the little boy is Nico, Nico. He was 6.
Now my mic's not picking me up. Shit.
Heard that.
Yep, he's been missing for 2 days, so says the report. So pretty much the day you all got here is when she got this report.
So it happened the day before.
Okay. So we will, as soon as we know a little bit more about them, I'm assuming we can figure out their residence or
Yep.
where they would be at this time of day if they're at work.
Their location would be there, both their own and his workplace. He actually works in a pottery house where they make bowls and plates and ceramic utensils. The reports say, though, that he was severely distraught and that he was going to take time off while trying to find his child.
Okay, so we would approach
So
the home.
probably at home.
So you approach the house. You actually see standing outside of the house another town guard that's just kind of casually standing there, not really on guard, so to speak, but looking, just kind of looking around, just being present, I guess is the way to say it.
Mistral will
And
give them a nod of acknowledgement.
he nods back. He does not attempt to stop you from approaching the house or anything like that. It seems to be a relatively, it's not a great home, but it's sturdily built. It's wooden. It has a little bit of brown. Uh, I want to say mud, but it's not mud at the bottom. Just kind of pushed into the walls to make sure it's sealed well and everything. But it's also the way that they've done it is kind of how you would paint a lower part or have like brick up the house. It makes the house look a lot nicer than it is being just wood and thatch and stuff like that. So it's not a bad hovel or anything. It's an okay house.
It's
Okay.
just
Windows
not
and
something
everything.
made out of nice stone and brick and
Right.
It's
Not anything that Bannock saw uptown.
it's been
Oh,
fixed
I'm
up a
so
bit.
dumb. When you said
Yeah.
we were going to go look for the father, I thought you meant a priest or something.
No, no, the
No, the
parent
kid's
of the missing
father.
child.
The father of the missing child.
Yeah, I'm not smart.
So
straight
Mistral
up.
will go ahead and knock on the door.
You knock on the door, you hear sudden clattering, you hear a plate break. The door suddenly flies open, and there's a man standing there that looks rather exasperated. He says, "Have you found my son?" Then he kind of looks at y'all curiously and confusedly.
Well, we did actually have a few questions pertaining to that matter. Perhaps we can help each other?
his face, which was somewhat disheveled but excited in a way, his eyes just suddenly droop and his mouth kind of turns down to an almost permanent looking frown. He has bags under his eyes that are much more visible now, and he kind of steps away from the door and says, "Come in, come in." And just over
Was
in the
I here
corner,
last time?
this is y'all's first time meeting this guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
And as you start to look inside, over by what appears to be a washing basin is a woman, a human woman. And she sees you walking in, and he turns around and she just starts sobbing into her hands. Says, "Come in. I don't know what else I can do to help. Come
We
in."
are a set of fresh eyes on this investigation. Elsbeth has called us in to offer a little bit of more targeted assistance so we can hopefully get your child back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, please. We just want to see him back safe. He looks like he's on the verge of tears, but he's trying to be, very strong with it. You can tell he's resisting the urge to do to bawl just like his wife is. So
Okay.
you step in. He doesn't have much for seating. There are some stools that are around and table. It's not a real upscale place, but it's a nice home. They don't really have major furniture, like a couch or anything like that. There's nothing that is covered in a padding or anything, but they do have some seating areas and a table. It looks well taken care of, though you can see that there have been some dishes that are piling up near the basin, all very ceramic. They have a mark on it of a little T, a lowercase t kind of is
Mm-hmm.
what you would see on it. Which is familiar from the report as his location, the place where he works, is run by him, and that's his normal mark. That's his work mark.
It says
Workman's
his
mark.
potter's mark.
Yeah,
Okay.
and his wife finally kind of calms herself down a little bit and starts cleaning up the plate that had fallen on the floor as the excitement kind of came and went. And he says, "Well, what can I help you with? Is what do you need to know?" He looks very enthusiastic to try and find his child. There is no hiding any of this.
Okay.
He's a distraught daddy.
Yep. He's gonna give us as much information as he has in hopes that we can help. Um well, we had heard from the reports previously that you've already given that you had you were holding hands with your child when they vanished.
You see him
Um
kind of grip his right hand as you say this, and this is the first time any of you see this, but on his fingertips and up along his middle three fingers there seems to appear, the best way to describe it would be like a blue handprint or a small child's
Mm.
handprint or fingerprints that were wrapped around his fingers,
So he's
as if
got
he
like a
was
cold
holding.
burn.
so there was a physical mark, yeah.
Y'all see like a blue, well, all the reference, a blue print on his hand.
Does that hurt? I'm
He
gonna
tilts his
gesture
head,
to it.
and I can just he it still feels like he was there just a moment ago.
So it doesn't
Okay.
feel cold anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is there a temperature difference?
Are y'all going to ask? What are you going to ask?
I was saying that out loud, so it doesn't
Yeah.
feel cold anymore.
It still feels cold. I don't know why.
Okay. Mm. Sorry, looking at what I have available here.
Yeah. I've even had a doctor to look at it. He says my fingers are fine, but I can still swear he's right here. I can still feel his little hand. And he tears up a little bit, but he chokes it back down.
We've heard now, which we did not hear in the reports, some people spoke of hearing whispers when the disappearance occurred. Did you hear anything?
He stands up immediately and says, "Yes, yes, that's what I tried to tell the guards. No one would listen to me. Everyone around me heard it."
The guards aren't listening about the whispers?
They say it's
Likely they
just a
can't do
rumor.
anything about it.
I heard whispers. There were whispers. I don't know what it said, but there were whispers. He
Did
is.
they seem to come from any direction in particular?
It felt like it was behind me and in front of me at the same time. I don't really know. It was
And
almost like it was in my head. I can't
is-
unhear it.
did you perchance did you catch enough to know what was being said even if you didn't quite understand it?
Can you try to repeat it back?
Would
Yeah.
you recognize the language if you heard it again?
Well,
Maybe.
he said he can't unhear it.
Yeah, if he's hearing it clearly enough, if he can repeat it back even if he doesn't know the language, that might do something.
Could you perchance try
Do
to
you
repeat
know
it back?
Do you know Infernal?
Yes.
Yeah,
I also know
that's-
Infernal.
That was my thought, is having you speak a little Infernal.
I have Infernal, Elvish, and Primordial at my disposal.
I wish I had tongues up right now as a spell.
So if it's from Plane of Water or something else, Primordial would cover that as well.
Yep. Give me
Do I
just a
have it
moment
up?
here.
Oh, I do have it up. Before he... Okay, is he going to attempt to try and repeat what he heard back?
Yeah, he's ready to.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to cast off tongues then.
Okay, you
So at least
will
it
not know
gives us
what
a
language
chance.
it is, but you will be able to understand it if he says anything right.
If he says anything.
Well, at
right.
least I can
that's
understand
the
something
thing.
if he
This
potentially...
is the risk. Even if it's like broken Infernal because he doesn't know the language, at least I would recognize that it was Infernal.
Mhm.
Uh,
At least I can potentially understand if it is
You'll
partially
hear him
broken
say
too.
a word and then randomly banana thrown in the middle. Yeah.
Yep.
You also understand the Infernal.
Yep, you do. It's actually surprising how many of you actually do.
I
Very,
don't.
very esoteric languages here. Infernal, primordial, abyssal.
Hadozi, trust some folk. Nah.
It's almost like we're a
Draconic,
diverse party of
Elvish,
different
Undercommon.
people from different backgrounds.
Mistral and Adeline, you recognize what he's about to say as some form of infernal. It sounds like it's an older dialect of it, but that's how you recognize it, is it's the closest thing. Bannock, it makes some sense to you, but only bits and pieces.
Okay.
And
It vaguely reminds you of Abyssal, but it doesn't sound like what you're used to, but you can feel like there's some link between whatever he says and the Abyssal language that you know. Banana,
now
Erlen can understand everything.
now
Okay.
that I've heard it, can I roll a check to see if I recognize it now that I've heard it?
Well, hold on, I got to tell you what it says first.
Yeah, Banana gets to
Yeah,
hear
let
what
me-
he's tried
let
to
me get-
say.
Yeah. So this is what you hear is him just whispering over and over, one more life, one more life, one more life. That's all it kept saying was one more life.
One more life.
Mistral is going to
Hmm.
flinch.
Yeah, he says
And-
this 3 or 4 times, and then it said, he says this, one more life, one more life, one more life, one more life. The ring fulfill. One more life. One more life. One more life.
The
Mistral
ring
is going
fulfilled.
to, in Infernal, repeat what she had heard from that dream so long ago.
Try now.
It sounds exactly what he says.
One more life to the
jumps
ring
up and says,
fulfilled.
yes, that.
No, I
That's
mean,
exactly what it sounded like. He looks rather scared at how.
How
well,
perfectly I replicated it.
Yeah.
no, I meant I wanted to try not to recognize it, but try to see if I recognize it as a College of Whispers thing.
What does College of Whispers do?
I don't know. It's just my college. College of Whispers bards are the sneaky ones that go out that only do stuff at night.
Okay, no, this
They're-
does not sound like any type of language or something that you would do sneaky or anything related to rogue thing. What's it called?
College of Whispers bard.
Yeah, but the rogue language, I forget what it's called. Anyways, it
Oh.
doesn't sound like anything anyone that you know, even the sneaky bards and roguish type peoples would use to communicate with.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, not
so
communicate with. I wanted to know if not. I don't know how to.
I don't
word
know
it.
what you're asking. I apologize.
I wanted to know if it was something I came across during like studies or stuff like that. Since College of Whispers bards, study more dark things than normal bards.
It doesn't sound like anything you've studied yourself.
If anybody, I think probably Mistral would have come across something like that in her studies.
Him
we have
saying it
we
over
have the
and over,
journal at
though.
home.
Every time he says it over and over as you're listening, and he starts to say it again, exactly like Mistral just did. Erlen, Kohl, and Adeline,
Mm-hmm.
you get
Does it
just the
jog
tiniest
our...
bit of a headache.
Mm.
It's just like an ache in the back of your head. Not a bad one. It's just you feel a sudden ache in your thing, and the more he says it, the stronger that ache gets.
I will, noticing that, go ahead and stop him from repeating it anymore. And be like, well, I have a pretty clear idea of what they've said. So that is certainly a very helpful lead. Thank you.
You've heard this before, Mistral?
Yes. We've spoken of it briefly, but we will speak about it again. In more detail, I'm sure.
Oh, that thing from this morning. Okay.
Yes, that.
Yeah, please elaborate later.
Mhm.
My head hurts.
What? He reaches out and grabs your hand. What? Do you know where my boy is? Do you know something about my boy?
We have a very, very good idea of where to look now, so this is very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, please find my boy. His wife comes over and stands behind him and is hugging him around the shoulders, and she looks at you and says, "Please just find him. Make sure he gets home safe if you can."
We're
Of
gonna try everything in
course.
our power to do so.
We've also noticed, because unfortunately it does appear that this is not an isolated incident.
He looks rather aghast and said, "Others have been taken."
Yes. So far, it seems like the common thread is that they all possessed some form of magical ability.
My boy, he just learned that he could do magic.
How long ago did he learn?
Yes, or not yesterday, about 2 or 3 days ago. He was
So,
What
showing
type
me
of
that he could
magic?
flip pages of a book without touching it. It was awesome. Not awesome thing. It was nice. It was great. I can't think of a good word for awesome that people would say in the old days. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
so,
I was so proud of him.
Miraculous?
I was looking for him to become the next great wizard, the
it
next
would have,
great sage.
the word you were looking for would probably have been fantastical, but yes.
Thank you.
Or miraculous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Nobody in our
so,
family has ever shown mystical arts.
timeline, does that line up with the blue wave?
Uh, it definitely happened after that.
Yeah. Okay. So no signs prior to Blue Wave.
Right.
All right, that's what I was looking for.
I wonder,
This
should
was
we
a recent
ask the
thing, as in like
dad?
the day before you all got here, the kid suddenly discovered he could do magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask the dad. Were you around when that blue wave came through?
Yes. I mean, everybody
Did you?
was. It was chaos for a little bit until everybody figured out that nothing happened.
Where were you at the time?
I had a questioning for that. Give me a second.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to
gonna
figure out if he
ask-
was home or at work. Because if he was near his kid,
oh yeah. Okay.
which I think was where you were going.
We
Yeah.
were all in bed. It happened early in the morning.
Did you notice anything weird with Nico after the blue wave, besides him being able to suddenly do magic?
He seemed a lot happier. I mean, I thought maybe he just got a new friend or something like that.
Oh.
Nothing major. He just seemed in higher spirits. He was very giggly and giddy and really wanted to show us the stuff he could do. And it just kind of went from there. At first it was just a little push of a piece of straw on the floor that he could do that looked like wind was blowing it.
Did it
Rather
seem
quickly.
like he had picked it up kind of naturally, or did it feel more like he had been instructed? Like, how skilled was it when he showed it to you?
Based on what we've been told by priest whenever we go to church and everything else, it started out very, very minimal. So I guess
And
naturally
slowly
learned.
growing.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the blue wave unlocks something.
That's what I was trying to figure out is did he have an invisible friend guiding him? Did he suddenly unlock a memory, or did he just gain ability and was experimenting and learning the ability?
And he looks down at his hand and just kind of rubs his all over his hand and just says, I still feel like he's right here with me. I just can't shake it. I swear I can still feel his hand right here.
With me being what I am, do you think I'd be able to tell anything? If I did like an arcana or a medicine check on his hand?
You can look. Go ahead and give me an arcana check.
Sir, would you mind if I took a look at your hand?
Oh, sure. I mean,
Can
there's
I
nothing wrong with
assist?
it. You certainly can.
Okay.
I mean,
So I'm
there's
gonna
nothing
grab
wrong
his
with
hand
it. There's just a
lightly.
few calluses. I mean, the doctors have looked at it, the clerics looked at it and says there's nothing wrong with it.
I'd just like to double check.
Okay, you look at his hand.
And with Lily assisting, am I doing it advantage?
You are.
Yes, I'm not gonna roll, so.
Well, I
Okay.
need you to roll a d10 at least.
Oh.
I mean, a d20 and get 10.
Oh, okay. Just to see if my
Yeah,
does
for the
anything.
help action.
Okay, because I was going to attempt to
She
assist
rolled
by
16 the
pulling
first
out
time
my
anyways.
yeah, I was gonna attempt to pull out my jeweler's
She
kit and
rolled a
use a
19
magnifying
anyway.
glass and physically investigate the hand while she was doing
Okay. So
that.
you hold his hand, you look down at it, you're looking very close towards it. Sorry, I had to respond here. You look at it, you look closely. The closer you look at it, uh, you yourself, like your nose starts to feel a little bit cool and everything else. And holding his hand, your hand kind of starts to feel a little bit cool and everything else. And you can sense some kind of magical energies coming out from where you see these blue fingerprints. You can't quite place the school though.
Okay.
I can actually kind of sense something coming from this, but I'm
Sadly, none of us have
My
detect
hand.
magic as a spell.
not. I do have detect magic, I believe, as a spell.
I could do that.
I'm gonna attempt one more thing, sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast detect magic on his hand.
That's a good idea.
Well, detect magic and look at his hand because it's anything in the area in the 30 feet.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Am I
One
noticing
moment.
anything else?
I need to check something really quick. I'm sorry it's taking me so
Well,
long here.
all of us will ping because we all have magical items on our person.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm hyper focused on his hand.
So let me save you some time on that one. We'll all ping no matter.
I'm sorry it's taking me just a minute here. Detect the magic.
Mhm.
I want to make sure I give you all the information it gives.
Yep. It's a faint aura that indicates a school of magic.
Yep. Magic effect was created by spell. Okay. Looking at his hand, you cast a spell. He kind of leans his head back as you start uttering some words here and looking at his hand. It glows with an aura of conjuration. Specifically, the fingerprints that you see.
I'm seeing conjuration, guys.
On my
Okay.
hand?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody else hasn't detected this. Or is this me being a
mean,
Tressum thing?
It's just a normal hand.
It's the blue. Wait a minute, sir. Do you not see the
The what?
blue handprint on your hand?
His wife kind of looks down at him, and as he turns and looks up at her, and rather quizzically, and he turns around, and looks at you, and says, "There's nothing on my hand."
What did
I'm
we
gonna
all see the
dig.
blue
You
on his
do?
hand?
I'm guessing
Okay.
no. I'm guessing it's me a Tressum thing.
We
Well,
No.
he just said we all do.
Yeah. You
Well, I
all
can't
Oh,
see
is it a
see
these
it.
magic
blue
thing?
fingerprints.
Yeah, I think it's just a magical thing.
Okay, I'm going to dig into my bag for a second, and I'm going to pull out my ink pen that goes with my journal, and
Okay.
I'm just going to, sir, I'm going to draw on you for a sec, and I start outlining the
He kind of
handprint on
jerks
his
his hand
finger.
away as you say this quickly, and then goes ahead and lets you because just kind of out of the blue. Go ahead.
I'm gonna draw the handprint on to the outline of it on his hand. This is what I'm seeing on your hand, sir.
He kind of clenches at his hand for a minute and says, "That's my little boy's hand." And his wife
I'm
starts to bawl
detecting
again.
something. I'm detecting something from it.
I feel like that's where I feel like he is. I feel like he's right here.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
His wife allows it. She's got her eye on you
So,
though, even though she's sobbing.
so I'm gonna look at the rest of the group. Conjuration. What could this be?
I mean, any summoning spell, a gate spell. Most elemental spells, honestly.
I'm surprised the other clerics that he's seen hasn't seen this.
Could be related to our previous encounter. There may have been a link forged that we are better equipped to deal with.
Let's hope so. Okay, so is
He's
there
looking
any
at
other
y'all hopeful as you're
info?
whispering amongst yourselves.
Is there any other info that you could think of that you haven't mentioned to the guards?
None
I'm
at
sorry,
all.
what I missed about the hand?
The blue handprint, only we can see it. Only our party can see it.
What else about it, though?
And it's emitting
Conjuration magic.
aura when Nene did detect magic on it.
And it makes my nose feel cold.
So
Yep,
School
the
of
closer you
Conjuration
are to it,
magic.
it makes it feel cool.
I could definitely feel the coldness of it, though. It's not all in your head, sir.
Can I try to counter charm it?
I
I
don't
don't
think
know if
you'd
he
want
wants that.
to because he it's an indication of his son, a token of remembrance. I think he'd be upset if we got rid of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
he
think so too.
actually looks considerably happier since you've drawn on his hand. Even though,
Never
he's
mind.
sad and she's sad, but he's clenching his hand to his chest and kind of doing the thing of he's happy to have that there. So
All right,
It's
hands
like
up.
a
I won't do
connection to
anything.
his son.
Yeah, I think if we tried to dispel magic on it, he'd get very upset.
I think so too.
Mhm.
so
I
he
think
looks
so.
down
Yes.
he looks down at his hand and holds it back out and he says, "So what do you see?"
There are certainly remnants of arcane magic there.
So you think magic is what took him away and not some person that ran down the alley?
Yes, I do think it's something arcane in nature, which does make our group better equipped to investigate than the
Because we've also
guards.
been. I was gonna say we've also been alerted of another boy who
Mm-hmm.
recently was
We-
showing
we-
signs
we-
of magic
Yeah,
being
we mentioned that.
disappearing.
Yeah.
Please just find my boy, and I hope you can find this other child too, but please just try and bring my boy home safe.
We will certainly do all that we can. Thank you. You've been very helpful.
Well, thank you.
Also,
Thank you.
if you happen to think of anything else, just let Elsbeth know and she can let us
She'll be in
know.
contact with us, yes.
Yep.
She has a line to
And
us as we conduct our investigation.
if we find anything else, we'll also let Elsbeth know to let you know as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. The mother wouldn't have any additional information, right?
I'm assuming she
She
would have
doesn't
probably
because
piped up.
yeah,
She
she
wasn't
didn't
there.
know that he was. Well, she was. They were out shopping together,
Mm,
but he was the one holding the little boy's hand.
got you.
So he's the one that has the feeling and everything else. I mean, he turned around looking for his boy who was suddenly gone, and then she did too whenever he panicked. And so her
And he
story is
probably feels
matching
like it's
his.
more his fault because he was the one holding the boy's hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he thought he somehow lost track of him and was snatched. The boy was snatched away from him. So
Yeah, he
this
actually looks
hopefully
a
makes
little
him
bit
feel a bit
relieved.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that it was out of his control.
I think we should go pop in and say hi to Elsbeth.
I agree. I think we've taken up enough of this family's time. We should really be pressing on with the investigation.
Oh, for shits and giggles, I'm going to ask, do you happen to know of any families in this quarter that adopted a son recently?
I don't.
A new
Not
boy
myself.
named Charles?
I don't. Not myself. No.
Okay.
Is that the child that went missing?
No, it's another one that was reported but does not appear to be a full disappearance. Looks like they may have just been lost in the shuffle with the adoption.
We were hoping to check in to make sure he wasn't taken. Chirp, chirp.
Silence. um
Sorry,
yes.
I was
It's okay.
reading something.
A white noise in the background, so when you went chirp chirp, I was like, "Can you hear that?"
Panic
Panic for a minute there.
But no, I think we'll once they've said that they didn't know anything about the adoption, we would probably make
How
our way
dare
out.
you?
Okay. So, he leads with please just find my child, and she's nodding and hugging him really tightly and kind of supporting him as much as he's supporting her at the moment as you walk out the door.
Of
Okay,
course,
I
and
have a question
if you
first.
remember anything else, please do alert the guards so that they can have Elsbeth pass that along to us.
Certainly.
I do have a
certainly.
question.
Mhm.
Before we leave, should we point out to them that we think it possibly might be magic as a tie? Watch out.
Well,
Like, if you have any other friends that their kids are displaying magic, like, try to watch out.
I
Be
think we
careful.
should probably not try to cause a panic.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll tell that to Elsbeth.
We'll tell
Let her
Elsbeth.
back.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Let her dispense that information in a way that won't generate panic.
Should we tell the guard that?
We can certainly do that on our way, yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yes,
I'm
you
just
certainly
looking
can.
at the time and trying to make sure we're not
Yep,
sitting
it's
forever
almost
doing nothing.
9:30, so it's about time
Yeah.
to start winding down. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Can
I'll
we
head
walk
out of the
out
house.
the door and see if we can talk to the guard for a minute?
You certainly can. Again, the guard is still just kind of standing there rather casually.
Yep. We have obtained a little bit more information for the investigation if you would like to convey this amongst your group as well so that we are all on the same page.
Okay, he perks up at that and is listening intently.
We
Yes.
have an establishing trend. The children that have had a disappearance seem to have all shown signs of magical ability shortly before disappearing.
Okay,
And it
that's
looks like the
definitely interesting.
magic and it looks like their magic ability may have come into fruition after the blue wave hit.
We only know that for one. We can't
Mm.
make that presumption right now. We
That's
don't.
why I
That's
said
not
possibly.
confirmed. That's not confirmed for Dell.
That's why I said possibly.
My worry is twofold. That the wave gave a bunch of people magical powers that they either had or did not have before, and that perhaps it unlocked something deep and disturbing.
My concern, my current theory, my working theory, which I wouldn't necessarily do take this with a grain of salt. This is very much a working theory. This is in progress. We have not tested yet. Making that clear to the guard. Working theory is that when the wave passed through, it potentially unlocked or revealed abilities in these children, but may have also marked them.
Hmm.
Interesting. That's definitely an
Potentially.
interesting.
Yes.
We're about to go head on and meet up with Elsbeth to tell her our findings. If you want to pass that on to your fellow guards, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I would also ask them if they knew of any recent adoptions in the uptown, because we had heard about one.
Yeah.
We wanted to do a wellness check to make sure they hadn't disappeared. So
That
as
would
well.
be something that you would have to check with the
So Elsbeth would know
magistrate.
more. Okay. Okay. Thank you very
So
much.
please-
We will report to Elsbeth.
Okay.
And please keep eye on the magical kiddos. Definitely
Okay.
looks like magical snatchings.
Okay, he kind of salutes with his hand to his chest, the kind of pounding his chest type deal, and says, I will keep that in mind and I will pass that up.
Okay. And I think we would make our way back up to Elsbeth, and whenever you want to cut us off, we can do that.
Okay. Going ahead and heading back towards Elsbeth, and that's probably a good time to stop because conversations take forever.
Yes.
They do.
Yep.
And this will be a lengthy one, I'm sure.
Yep.
So thank you all. Again, sorry to cut it off before we get back, but yeah, it's almost 9:30 here, so it is a good time to stop.
It's actually 9:31.
So we've had a rather eventful day. Don't make me kick you out of the party.
I'll just fly
Rather
back in.
eventful day of Kohl getting pursued by the law, and having two different people talk their way out of it. Checking up on the child here, finding one other disappearance that may be closely related, and getting a little bit of insight on the possibilities of what might be going on.
Mistral didn't
thanks.
have to burn any social capital today. Still better than Sancho.
Yeah, Sancho is. Yeah.
We don't talk about Sancho.
No.
So
At
thanks
least-
everybody again.
That's great.
At least.
All right. Good night.
Yep.
Good night.
Thanks everybody again for this
Right.
30-second session of In the Demon's Grasp. Hopefully get to
It's
see
30
some people
seconds.
next time.
For
Yeah.
those of you on
Yes, it was
online,
32.
thank you so much
Yeah.
for watching.
32.
Thank you for
Mhm.
listening, and I'll see you all
All
next
right.
time.
We'll
Yep.
see if we manage to make it back next
Bye-bye.
week for 3 weeks of D&D in a row.
Yes.
Maybe
That
so.
will be magical.
We'll roll a
Bye.
natural 20